anyway, I speak a very German English, so I hope you can understand that quite well. Unfortunately, the only word I can speak is in English is privet, and there's a reason for that I can say this word, but this is in a few slides, you'll see that. Anyway, this session will be somehow in general about the Internet of Things, and it's somehow related to your session. It's about connecting devices, and that our near future will change in a way that almost everything around us will be somehow connected. And in the first session I will deal with our anxious, with our fright, with our concerns about this topic, and I will show only a little bit code based on the physical web. And the second session I will go much more into code, and I will show you how you can create your own virtual world, your Minecraft-based world, to connect real-world physical devices, to bring these stuff together, to make your own experience, to discover the sense and the idea of the Internet of Things. Because a lot of people, as mentioned, are somehow frightened. They think the Internet of Things, the connectivity, that nowadays even irons can be connected and broadcast some hidden private information somewhere to China or whatever. And this scares people. It feels to the people a little bit like this Ariane, this US rocket, which unfortunately did explode because there was a buffer overflow, and this was just because of one reason. They did not thought about the new engines, which have much more power than the engine before, and therefore they had a buffer overflow, and it was round about $500 million they lost thanks to this minor issue. And the Internet of Things, to most people, feels a little bit like that. And this is always the case if talking about inventions. We are talking about new stuff. Even when trains, at the time trains were being invented, the people have been scared about that. They thought, because the fastest transportation at that time had been horses, and the people thought if there's something faster than 20 miles per hour, which is somehow the maximum speed of a horse, then you will get crazy, and if it's faster than 30 miles per hour, that was the speed of the first trains, then you will probably die. That's what people, even honored doctors and researchers, thought. And this is somehow the same thing we have nowadays with the Internet of Things. People think that's evil, and the whole world will somehow, like this rocket before, explode. But we, as developers, we have to deal with that. We have to explain to the people that this is not really new. The Internet of Things connectivity is there since decades. The first sample for connected devices, for systems of systems, distributed systems, are ATMs, bankomats. And these devices have been first installed in Sydney in the late 60s. The most popular sample for the Internet of Things is more kind of machine-to-machine communication, is this vending machine from an American university, and this shows how important it is to have people with real inspiration, with real ideas, and with a real demand, because this vending machine was not a business case. It was invented because the students, they suffered because they never did know if there's really cold Coke in this vending machine. So they had to go to the vending machine to look and see if there's something. But thanks to connectivity, they could see that on their computer. They could order new Coke, they could see if it's worth to get there. And this is something quite important. By the way, machine-to-machine communication, just in quotes, another term for the Internet of Things, is the most important aspect nowadays if you just want to earn money with the Internet of Things. Because Internet of Things is hardly something you can gain any money, because it sounds very much like consumer-oriented devices. But if you go in the industry, make industrial IoT, make M2M, then it's easy to earn some money. Anyway, the Internet of Things is here since decades. The major issue, the major difference nowadays is that these devices seems to disappear. It seems like we are not noticing anymore if there's something connected or if it's not connected. It's getting into devices without noticing ourselves. And for example, this iron I mentioned at the beginning is really something you can buy. There's a Chinese vendor producing an iron without even advertising that this iron supports Wi-Fi. So this iron just broadcasts messages to free Wi-Fi's nearby without anybody noticing why, what for. So that's really scary for some people. Anyway, we can't prevent ourselves for this future, so we have to do something good with that. I'm not sure if these are good samples, but it's a bunch of samples. What nowadays is possible with using the Internet of Things, with connectivity. For example, they are connected toasters. So if you doubt this mirror is the right thing for you, you can buy a toaster which toasts the car better. Or you can even buy some toothbrushes, electric toothbrushes, which support you, which are somehow connected to, for example, to force your kids to clean their teeth even better. There are some things for beekeepers, so they can control a beehive from thousands of kilometers away. This is something they can do. My personal favorite is a toilet paper printer. That's it's not really a product you can buy. It's unfortunately just kind of a makeup project. But this toilet paper printer is capable of printing Twitter feeds. So it has really a useful scenario. Anyway, there are so many things you can nowadays connect. The most awkward sample I know is this one with the connected Vic. It's a patent by Sony. I have no clue what for. They say it's for city navigation, for pedestrian navigation. So you can wear a wig, and then this wig will somehow lead you through Moscow. I have no idea, maybe. But these are things you can buy, you can develop yourself. These are some ideas. Anyway, Google did introduce a term, it's the physical web, which means that we don't try to get the devices into the internet anymore, like this big data idea. Then the idea nowadays is vice versa. We try to get the internet into the devices, so that almost every everyday thing has kind of a URL, kind of a website, and they call it the physical web. And usually they use some kind of beacons with that. These are, for example, for instance, to Eskimo beacons, Bluetooth-based broadcasters of a simple radio signal. And thanks to this signal, you receive kind of a URI identifier, a website, and there are several samples what you can do with that. For instance, you can give a vending machine kind of a URI, a website where you then can order something and you get it immediately on the side of this vending machine. Or parking systems, restaurant buses, parking systems, for example, parking meters for paying it online, but the parking meter is in real world, it's physical there on your side, or a physical tiny toy. That's quite a nice idea. Maybe you can combine that with the web Bluetooth API, because a toy gets a website, you go to this website thanks to the physical web, and on the website you have a remote control to directly control your toy. Sounds also a little bit awkward, but it's something you can do with the physical web. And the physical web is quite easy to set up, because everything you need is just a URI, you need a beacon like that, and then you can write this URI to the beacon, and the beacon will broadcast that. It's very similar to a QR code, an NFC tag, something like that, but it's based on Bluetooth, so you don't need to explicitly take your phone, you don't need to take a photo. It just works as long as you have Bluetooth. And it's from the vision, it's included in the operating system, but currently it's still a beta. It's something Google is developing, and it's not on every phone, but once you have Chrome installed, for instance, then you get it for free. You have to activate it in your Chrome settings, but then once you get close to a beacon, you get a notification, a message with a notification or message center, and it works the same way on Android devices. I guess you know that already, and then you can, as mentioned, you can combine almost everything with the physical web. You can give a unique address, a unique website to almost every device. It feels a little bit like for instance, the Amazon Dash button. It's a very similar concept without buying something, just identifying something and getting some additional information. But this is not the only thing Google is doing in the Internet of Things space. There are a lot of projects going on, and in the beginning I mentioned Privyet.